an imposing defense, the time may just be right in Kansas City. For the New York Giants, the devastating loss to the Dallas Cowboys has left Dan Reeves with many questions. Today, some of those questions may be answered. Sold out Arrowhead Stadium for the home opener for the Kansas City Chiefs on an absolutely gorgeous, perfect day as the Giants visit Kansas City to face those Chiefs. John Madden, the Giants come off what has been called, and certainly was, a devastating loss to Dallas on Monday night. Have they recovered, and if so, where are they now?
I don't think that they can recover until they play well, because when you lose a game, you know, especially like they did Monday night where they were beaten 35-0, when they were embarrassed, you lose more than the game. You lose your confidence. And Dan Reeves can talk to the team about the confidence, try and get their confidence back. But you don't get it back by talk. The only way you get it back is going out there in the field and playing well, and the Giants need a win, and that's when they'll get their confidence back.
You mentioned confidence. The Kansas City Chiefs have it. They beat Seattle convincingly last week, but that was Seattle. Where do they stand now?
Well, of course, what they want to do is they still feel with Steve Bono that they have a quarterback that can be hot as long as they have a running game. And they're not really sure about that running game, but they feel that the two things that they have to do, and we talked to Marty Schottenheimer, as he said, if the Kansas City Chiefs are going to be a good team, if we're going to be a playoff team, we have to be able to do two things. We have to be able to run the ball on offense and stop the run on defense. And we're going to be tested today.
Coming up next on Fox, it's the New York Giants and the Kansas City Chiefs from Arrowhead Stadium. And John and I will be back for the opening kickoff when Fox NFL Sunday continues after these messages from your local station.
You're watching the NFL
home opener, hoping to remain #1. And there is no place like Arrowhead to broadcast or view an NFL game. Temperature today 73 degrees. The wind northeast 5 miles an hour. It just couldn't be better. Herschel Walker and Gary Harrell back deep for Lynn Elliott's kickoff. Walker, number 34. They like him to handle it. And Elliott lines one in his direction, and Herschel says, I got it at the 1. To the 25, perhaps. Hughes made the stop. The Giant offensive unit led by the quarterback, Dave Brown. In front of him, Elliott, Bishop, Brian Williams, Lance Smith, and Doug Riesenberg. Riesenberg hurting a little bit. Rodney Hampton, number 27, will be featured. Omar Douglas and Chris Callaway, the wide receivers. Howard Cross and Aaron Pierce, the tight ends. That's probably the way they'll open. Nope, they do not. Number 30 in the backfield is Way, and this is Hampton. Saliamua made the stop. He's up front of the Kansas City front four, along with Mickle, Joe Phillips, the other defensive tackle, and Neil Smith. Jameson, Simeon, and the dangerous Derek Thomas, the linebackers. Hasty Mark Collins, the ex-Giant, at free safety. He's number 25. 2nd and 7. The Giants would like to have more on first down. Brown, Hampton. Hampton surges outside the 30, a gain of perhaps a yard. William White and Saliamua to make the stop.
You talk about that 2nd and 7. That's what, when we talk to Marty Schottenheimer, the Kansas City Chiefs, that's the situation they wanted to create, to hold the Giants on first down to less than 3 yards. Then we talked to Dan Reeves about that first down being so important. He says they want to gain 4 or more yards on first down. So on that first down battle, Kansas City won it.
3rd and 3. Walker is in the backfield now with Hampton. Brown to throw it. Wide open is Callaway. Callaway down the sideline. into Kansas City territory all the way to their 31-yard line. Flag on the play.
Yeah,
back at about midfield.
Now we're talking about confidence, and this is the type of confidence the Giants need, that when you get that first third down play, that your pass protection can hold up, and it did very well for Dave Brown on that play.
Bernie Kukar, the referee. Looks like this penalty will be tacked on to the end of that gain.
Illegal use of hands. Number 34 on the defense. Hands to the face. We will add that penalty of 5 yards onto the end of the run. First down.
Dale Carter with a violation.
And you'll see here, first of all, is the pass protection. You see third down. Dave Brown had time to get rid of that ball quickly to Chris Callaway, who's coming on across. And you see right there, just in front of that, is where Collins made that penalty.
Mark Collins was chasing all the way. On first down, it's Hampton. And Hampton doesn't get much. Simeon made the stop.
This is one of the things that both teams want to do. You talk to the Giants, and if the Giants are going to play Giant football, they have to be able to run and run successfully because they can play pass. And the Chiefs know that they aren't, or haven't been in the preseason, they haven't really been good at stopping the run. They didn't feel they were tested last week against Seattle, and they figure that's going to be their biggest test today.
2nd and 10. Pierce moves over to the left. Hampton, the deep back. Brown out of the pocket, fires to a wide open Callaway touchdown. Nobody even in the neighborhood. 31-yard touchdown pass.
Well, Dale Carter, number 34, was the corner on that side. He's shaking his head like he didn't know if that was his man or if he was going to have help in the back. You watch, here's Carter right here. There's Callaway. And you see him, he gets a little bump there, and then he slips. That's what happened. But it looked like he was going to jump in front of that thing anyway. The safety, William White, he's turned around going the other way. And as you say, Carter just slipped. But it looked like he was trying to jump in front of Callaway.
The old out and up. And tripped. Fall down. And Aloiso's extra point is good. And it's 7-0. The Giants break on top.
That's Dave Brown here. He has that play pass, gets the pressure up the middle, and that little move there bought him the time to get the touchdown.
Just a few steps to the skyline of Kansas City on an ice blue perfect day. Temperature in the 70s. The Giants lead 7-0. Touchdown pass from Brown to Callaway. Tamarick Vanover is deep for D'Aloiso's kick. 5 yards deep in the end zone. He started to come out. Changed his mind. Steve Bono starts at quarterback for Kansas City. Number 13. Out of the shadow finally of Joe Montana. The offensive line in front of him, Alt, Zott, Grunhard, Shields, and Criswell, the ex-Jet. Marcus Allen, Kimball Anders, Lake Dawson, Willie Davis, and Keith Cash, the receiver. Dawson split wide to the left. Bono. Pass complete to Davis. First down, Kansas City. Jesse Campbell on the stop. Here's the Giants defense. 4-man front with Strahan, Agnew, Hamilton, and Harris. They haven't been together very much. The 3 linebackers, Mike Kroll, Michael Brooks in the middle, and Corey Miller. Secondary, Randolph, Glenn, Campbell, and Sparks. 1st and 10, Kansas City. Bono to put it up again. In the direction of Marcus Allen, he let him up the field too much.
Giant offensive line over there are talking about the thing that they have to stop is that middle penetration, because that's what the Chiefs are trying to do, is get pressure up the middle so that Dave Brown, he can't throw those timing routes. And Dave Brown did have pressure on that touchdown play up the middle, but he got out to the side, bought the time, and hit Chris Callaway for the touchdown.
2nd and 10 for the Chiefs from their own 34. gives to Anders, who only gets a couple of yards. Agnew led the defensive charge.
I'll guarantee you one thing. This Giant defense had a short week because they played on Monday night. They have to come back on Sunday. But Dan Reeves said we had so many fundamentals we had to work on. We couldn't worry about not putting pads on. He said we had to go out in pads and work on fundamentals. And I'll guarantee you they worked on stopping that run after what Emmitt Smith did to him on Monday night.
And he's always believed that you got to go back and start working on techniques, the basics again. If something goes wrong. Bono bounces off Cash, incomplete. And the Chiefs are going to have to punt.
See, and that's what you can do. That's the way to play defense. If you can stop the run on first and second down, get him into third and long, then you can get a pass rush, then you can put nickel defense in, then you can play. It's when you can't stop the run, then they always keep you off balance.
Chris Callaway, who scored the Giant touchdown. They lead 7-0. Louis Aguiar back to punt. Gary Harrell is deep for the Giants. Good kick from Aguiar. Harrell knocked out of bounds just short of the Giant 30. McDaniels took him out of bounds. The Giants lead it 7-0 with 10:31 left.
Tough first quarter for Dale Carter. You see him here. He's covering Chris Callaway. He goes to cut underneath, slips and falls. Callaway gets the touchdown. Now watch him. Now he has to cover on punt coverage. And look what happens to him here. Boom, he gets knocked down. He gets up. He gets hit out of bounds, knocked again. That is a tough first quarter.
This is Rodney Hampton, upended at about the 30. Neil Smith was the man who hit him low.
Well, you know, the Chiefs are going to a new defense this year, too, where it seems like all of football is going to a four-man line now, getting away from that two-gap, you know, where the player had the gap on either side of him, now giving them one gap, and that gap they have to go to, they penetrate in.
That's Walker, who was in the backfield with Hampton. Neil Smith again makes the stop. Dan Reeves said he was going to use Herschel Walker more, get him the ball more.
Dan Reeves is looking for one of those plays that'll get him 4 or more yards. You see, as you have to run, you know, to keep that pass rush calm down, but the runs have to be successful runs. I mean, to run and just get back to the line of scrimmage, that's not doing you any good for anything.
3rd and 7. This is a situation you don't like to be in. Chiefs will rush 5. Out of the backfield is Hampton. First down, Giants. Collins made the stop. Hampton only caught 14 passes all of last year, so he's not your prime target.
Well, what they're trying to do is, you know, that's the stuff on 3rd down that they used to bring in. Dave Meggett used to catch that pass for him, so now they leave Rodney Hampton in, but they caught that crossing underneath stuff in front of the linebackers, and that seems to be where all the passing game is most open now, is behind the defensive line in front of the linebackers. 1st and 10.
Howard Cross on the move. The pitch is back to Rodney Hampton. Airborne again to the 45. Hit by Saliamua.
That's the way you play defensive tackle. The way Saliamua did that, you just come straight down the line. You know, in other words, you don't chase the guy from behind. If you're a big old 300-pound tackle like Dan Saliamua, when you see the ball coming, when you're in here and you see the ball coming this way, you run right down the line here, and you hope to have a collision at that point. So you come, boom, right down the line. So you just run the line, and you hope that happens at the end of it.
They got 5 yards, 2nd and 5. Hampton again. Bounced off a couple. Surge for a couple. Fumble, and the Chiefs may have it, but there's a flag on the play. Hampton is not a fumbler.
I think the ball came out when he was fighting for that extra yardage. Tracy Simeon, the middle linebacker, came up with the ball at the end. Because when you watch Hampton come in here, you're going to see that he didn't fumble when he was first hit. You see, he's fighting, and then his own man knocked it out of there. And about that third effort, you see right there, it's Chris Callaway. Chris Callaway's wide receivers in there trying to get in on some action, and he hits the ball right out of Rodney Hampton's arm.
First fumble in the last 489 times he's touched the ball, and it was caused by his own teammate.
You know, running backs are always looking for color. You know, the other colored jersey and helmet. They don't worry about their own color.
Bono fakes, hits Cash. Cash for a cheap first down, almost broke it. Sparks made the stop.
Biggest pass in football today, right there, Pat. That bootleg. You know, the 49ers ran it so well. Steve Young runs it so well. This is the same type of team where the backs go one way, the backs come here, the quarterback's going to go out that way. You see, it's you fake here. You see, you fake to the back, going to the left, and you roll out to the right. Boom, quickly hit that tight end.
Tight end fakes a block.
Biggest pass in football.
Yep. Steve Bono runs it well. Davis in motion. Anders for about 7 or 8.
You know, here's what a bootleg is. We always talk about a bootleg. You see, you have the two backs here, and the two backs are going to go one way. You got the quarterback and the two backs. Two backs go one way. Quarterback fakes, reverses, and goes the other way. That's what a bootleg pass is.
Good move by the quarterback.
that was what you call a reverse pivot. He reverse pivots before he fakes.
Like something you do on ice. Or some people do on ice. Second and about a yard. Marcus Allen has the first. Short yardage. When you need short yardage, number 32, Marcus Allen, maybe the best ever.
I think Marcus Allen is one of the best ever at that short yardage and goal line. And again, you know, I mean, that's being big, and it's being strong, and it's being tough, and all those things that Marcus Allen is, and experience. But it's also having patience and being able to find the soft spot in a defense, because there always will be a soft spot.
You don't think about vision being so important, but it is. Bono back to throw. Deep. He had a linebacker covering Greg Hill, which is, of course, a matchup you'd like to have, but just out of his reach.
That's what you're always looking for, especially when it's a strong side linebacker. That was Corey Miller that time on the coverage, and you're always trying to get that type of thing where you can get your strong side linebacker and get him man-to-man. You see at the top of the screen there, you see Corey Miller's right. We can stop it right now. You can see that right out here, he's all by himself, man-on-man. That's the man-on-man that you're looking for, that Steve Bono was looking for.
Bono back again. Had to just throw it away under pressure. I think they were trying to set up a screen, but somebody grabbed the target.
You're right. The thing that the Giants have to do, and they've talked about it all week, is getting pressure up the middle. Bono was trying to throw a screen. It was a middle screen, but the guard missed his block, and he got the pressure up the middle, and he couldn't even see the guy that he was going to throw it to.
So it's 3rd and 10. They're at the 25, so they'd be in Elliott's range for a field goal goal. Bono high over the head of Willie Davis.
I tell you, watching this Giant defense here Sunday afternoon and watching them Monday night and having watched the film of that game, this looks like two totally different groups. Of course, they aren't playing the Cowboys either.
No, they're not. But as Dan Reeves was saying to us yesterday, they hadn't had a chance to really be together. They didn't know each other's mannerisms, and you need that.
Yeah, and that's a problem with all teams now with this cap and free agency and all that. You got a lot of guys that playing together don't know each other.
From 42, Elliott is true. Elliott's good at 7-3. The Giants over Kansas City.
And now for something new.
To have a blimp.
Yeah, you get a big feeling, don't you?
Well, we've had some of those dome stadiums lately where we couldn't get the blimp.
Well, he was there. We just couldn't see him.
I don't know. There'd be no reason for him to even go there. What did he go there for? To practice? Practice driving a blimp?
Elliott to kick off. Harrell about a yard deep in the end zone. Outside the 20, about the 23. And the Giants will take over there. Anthony Davis knocked him out of bounds. Sellout crowd at Arrowhead Stadium. There may not be a better place to view a game than this.
And they know how to celebrate too.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they have the best tailgating in the league. Here, you come here and the barbecues are going all over the joint, and then you get in here and everyone's wearing red. The pregame introductions. I mean, and you know they know how to cheer everything.
Hampton. Rodney Hampton surges for about 13 or 14 yards and a Giant first down, tripped up by Hasty.
And that's the way to quiet this crowd down. The first thing you have to do is get these two guys. When they used to play the three-man line, you had to get the nose tackle. Now if you're going to run in the middle, boom, you got to control that area. Good blocking up there. They get everything controlled. Rodney Hampton waits. He looks, finds a hole, finds a crease. Whap, just gets it through there for the first down.
Just slid through there. Fake is to Hampton. Brown has Callaway. Chris Callaway.
See, I was just going to say that's the thing that you can do when you get the run going. Rodney Hampton runs the ball, gets 10 yards. Now what you do is now you take the I formation, make them think run. Now you fake the run and you hit Callaway in the middle. You see, you have that defense thinking run. They're not rushing the passer. You pull those linebackers up in here so that Callaway can get in behind them. You see the play fake gets him in behind, holds him up there so that the receiver can get in behind him.
23-yard gain, and now they get to Hampton again. And Rodney Hampton surges ahead for about 5. They'll take that.
Yeah, that was the thing that all week Marty Schottenheimer has been talking about is Rodney Hampton.
Right.
And they talked about the Giants and they didn't look good and the Cowboys and all this. And Marty Schottenheimer's been saying the one guy that has been worrying me all week has been number 27. And we'll talk to the Kansas City chief defensive players. They all talked about number 27.
They said we have to get it out of the hands of 27 and into the hands of 17. So far, that hasn't been a good idea either. Hampton. Couple short of the first down. Stopped by Joe Phillips.
But that's the thing that they want to do is if 27 runs effectively, then that's going to really calm down that pass rush, like we talked about, and it's going to hold those linebackers. So you're either going to have to get in there and do everything to stop the run, then open up the pass behind you, or you're going to have to loosen up for the pass behind you, and Rodney Hampton's going to gain 150 yards.
9 carries for 40. Hampton so far on the natural get grass in Kansas City. Hampton straight ahead inside the Kansas City 25 to about the 24.
And he's getting tired now. He said, I got a first down and stuff. But I'll tell you, Rodney Hampton is not only running well, but he is running hard. I mean, when he's hitting this thing, he is hitting it with something. I mean, he's whapping through that hole. He's running hard. Those knees are high. And I'll tell you, this is what it looks like if you're a defensive player. When Rodney Hampton gets that thing turned, he is determined that he is going to get that first down.
Elias and Walker now that Elias is deep, Walker behind Brown. Elias. And right now for McDonald's game break, let's return to James Brown in our Hollywood studio.
All right, Pat, the Lions game plan to counter that 8-man front of Minnesota trying to stop Barry Sanders. Pass on first down. Did it work? To perfection. 47-yarder to Herman Moore. We're all tied at 7 apiece. Let's take it back to Pat and John.
7-3 at Arrowhead. The Giants over the Chiefs. The Giants on the move again. Walker to about the 20.
See, the good news is that Rodney Hampton, had some things going, was really getting in a rhythm with his offensive line and so on, but also got kind of tired and had to come out of the game on a first down. So then they didn't have that anymore. So that, it's a tough thing, and I think that guys don't play enough in preseason anymore. Everyone's trying to save everyone in preseason. Then the season starts, and they're not ready to play a game.
3rd and about 6. Brown, protection is adequate, but he decides to run and slides for the first down. Dave Brown, young enough and big enough to take the punishment.
And he has a new quarterback coach in Steve DeBerg, and supposedly that was one of the things that Steve DeBerg was working with Dave Brown, is to, after you get that first down, to slide feet first so they can't hit you. I don't know that they always cover that. It looks like to me, they always say, don't go. There's Steve DeBerg right there. They always say, don't go head first, go feet first, but they're going to hit you either way.
They seem to.
They just drilled Dave Brown when he went feet first. What are they talking about?
Timeout for Kansas City. Brown's going to visit the sideline.
Then slide, they can't hit you. But whoom, they come in there and they drill you anyway.
Not supposed to do that.
But watch him. He goes down. Now watch number 34, Dale Carter. Right there. He's already down. What's that all about?
Carter had to leave for the bench. He got the worst of the collision with Brown.
I think he's had the worst of that whole first quarter, because he's the guy that fell down on Callaway's touchdown. On that punt coverage, 2 guys just about mauled him.
Hampton is back. Hampton gets around the corner, knocked out of bounds at about the 8-yard line. William White took him out of bounds. Herschel Walker will check in.
Yeah, I think when you have a hot Rodney Hampton, you just have to keep feeding him. And then when you're not going to feed him the ball, then fake it to him and throw the pass in there behind the line.
John, you hear about guys who, the more times they carry the ball, the better they get. I think that's rarely true, but in Rodney Hampton's case, it's beginning at 8, 7 Central. Here on Fox, 2nd and 6 at Arrowhead. Dave Brown rolling, faking, pass incomplete, intended for Walker.
The success of the Giants so far in that first quarter was really been their running. Look, they've only run left 2 times and right 1. But where they've made most of that yardage is up the middle, 8 times for 41 yards. And that's the best thing. Just run right at it with Rodney Hampton, big, strong, quick running back.
Three-wide receiver package for Dave Brown's Giant offensive unit, but the handoff goes to Walker. On the draw play, there's a flag on the play. Walker didn't get the first down.
The Kansas City Chiefs adjusted their defense. They put Mark Collins back at corner now from free safety and put Brian Washington in at the safety position. Washington had been hurt. They didn't think he would be able to play today, but when Dale Carter went out, they had to make that adjustment.
Holding, number 61 on the offense. The penalty is declined. 4th down.
Penalty decline. Walker didn't get the first down. So the Giants send in Daluiso to attempt the field goal with Tommy Maddox, his holder.
Tommy Maddox was his holder at UCLA and at the Denver Broncos. So these two have had experience together.
And that's a big help. From 24 yards out. Daluiso is good with his field goal. Sold out Arrowhead Stadium. The Chiefs home opener. Marty Schottenheimer, the Chiefs coach, has never lost a home opener since he's been the head coach here. Daluiso, the kickoff. Kamara Vanover at the goal line. He can make some things happen. To the 30.
you say, that guy can be exciting, that Vanover. Last week against Seattle, he just took one and ran it all the way back. In fact, as we say it, we even have a picture of it here. But watch him. Marek Vanover catches the ball right there at the goal line. Starts up in the middle. I don't think anyone touched him on that thing.
Best thing that kicker did was fall down.
Yeah, I'll guarantee every special team in the league is going to be watching a picture of that every week before they play the Kansas City Chiefs.
Greg Hill. Right now for a McDonald's game break, let's return to James Brown in our Hollywood studio.
And Isaac Bruce was a big play man last week. Continuing this week, short slant route, pass from Chris Miller, no safety up the middle, and as John Madden would say, the rack, the run after the catch, 33 yards to pay dirt. Rams lead at 7-3. Let's take you back to Pat and John.
It's 10-3 here in Kansas City. The Giants over the Chiefs.
Can't beat good rack.
2nd and 10. Leroy Thompson. Dale Carter, by the way, the word on him is he has a bruised left arm, which he bruised tackling Dave Brown. And his return is uncertain.
Tell you, after that first quarter he had, I bet he had a bruised ego, too. He was the guy that was beaten for the touchdown, double teamed and mauled on a punt coverage, hit Dave Brown after he was down, and had to take himself out.
Long count by Bono, and there was movement. Bernie Kukar.
Ball start on the quarterback prior to the snap. That's a 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
Marty Schottenheimer, excuse me.
I was just going to say the two things the quarterback can't do is bob his head or pull out before the ball is snapped. You see him, he starts here. See, he starts to move before the ball was snapped. So everyone else had the start count except the quarterback. When he doesn't have a start count, that's dangerous.
But it's amazing how many times that happens.
I know. Well, you know, sometimes they'll see things happen, and they'll see a blitz coming or a guy starting to penetrate, and they start to pull out before the ball.
With Bono back. There's the screen pass.
Make a miss, Bush.
Anders gets 5 or 6 yards, but not nearly enough for the first down. Sparks tripped him up.
I think when you get, when you have 3rd and 15 or something like that, you throw a screen pass, it's a give up play to get a first down. All you're trying to do is get a little better position for your punter.
Harry Harrow back deep for the Giants. Aguiar will punt for Kansas City. Wind shouldn't be too much of a factor going either way. Good kick. Good kick. All the way back to the 13. And the Chiefs were down in good shape. Harrell got out of the trouble and got out of bounds. Damian Hughes knocked him out of bounds.
Was the coach of the Oakland Raiders, Art Shell. See him there. He's the offensive line coach now for the Kansas City Chiefs. Oakland for 10 years. I don't think he ever missed a game.
And he's happy in Kansas City.
He was a great player. Hall of Fame.
Hampton. Rodney Hampton outside the 30.
I think as long as Rodney Hampton can go today, the Giants are going to keep giving him the ball.
He's going to go.
And, and you can look, they've had 9 first downs, and they've run the ball every first down. Like 7 or 8 of them have probably been Rodney Hampton, but that's their game plan. And as long as he can get this more than 4 yards, the Giants are winning that battle on first down.
12 carries for 60. This is his 13th carry. And he gets a first down. Tracy Simeon made the hit.
The other thing about Rodney Hampton is he's so big. You think he's a tailback, and but he's 235 pounds, and he knows how to finish off a run. You see there at the end of the thing, they go to hit him, a whap, they hit, and they go backwards.
He doesn't look 230.
No, I mean, he is a big running back, and then most of those plays that he's going to run are inside the tackle, so he's getting there quickly.
Walker has replaced him now at tailback. Brown was going to throw it, but the flag on the play before things started to happen.
Well, Dan Saliamua, number 97, jumped, but then again, was there movement before he jumped, or was he the first guy to jump? He was the first guy I saw.
Well, you're right.
Well, you know, with this gap defense and this penetration, you have to hit the gap and penetrate before they move.
We have a neutral zone infraction on the defense, number 92. That's a 5-yard penalty. Repeat the down.
But what they're doing is they're calling it on Mickle on this thing. The guy that I saw was next to him, Saliamua. Let's look at on the clicker again. The neutral zone is the length of the ball. No, it was Saliamua. It was 97. Yeah, we got him on the clicker. What they talking about? 92. It was 97.
The clicker got his penetration.
Oh yeah, but that's what they have to do. That's how you stop the run.
That's Elias with the ball. Stopped by George Jamison.
You know, one of the best linebackers in football, I think, is Derek Thomas. And one thing I'll say, we haven't heard his name a lot so far. There he is, number 58. I think he's one of the great pass rushers when he plays that position. But they've been blocking him well and getting and running by him and through him and around him and everything, because he really hasn't been a factor yet in this game.
Second down. Hampton. Got a couple.
Yeah, I think what Dan Reeves is trying to do is you want to feed the ball to Hampton and rest him. Now that's a definition of a dilemma.
How do you do that?
Well, that's you take him out for a down, then bring him back in, and then give him the ball. And if he's not going to run the ball, you take him out all the time. And when he is going to run the ball, you have him in there, obviously.
3rd and 2.
I would think he's going to run the ball, I wouldn't have him in there. That's how you do it. That's how you solve your dilemma.
I think you're probably going to be right. Play pass to Callaway. Coming across the middle, stopped by Collins. But a first down, Giants.
And that's the other part of your dilemma, is that what you want to do is you want to have him in there so that you can fake to him, you see, and then hold the linebackers so that you can get in behind them. On that play, Derek Thomas, watch number 58. He's going to come on a blitz. Rodney Hampton picked him up. That's a good block.
Good block.
I mean, I think Derek Thomas was just saying they're going to give it to Rodney Hampton. I'm going to go after him. He went after him, but he didn't have the ball. He blocked him, and what? They just throw it for a first down.
1st and 10. Brown again to throw it. Intended for Howard Cross, way over his head. Howard Cross not 100% physically.
Yeah, he tried to get him down that seam. Remember that seam pass that the Giants have been throwing forever?
Bavaro.
Remember Mark Bavaro would always catch it? Well, Tracy Simeon, the middle linebacker, got out there and kind of knocked Howard Cross off of it.
Yeah, I guess that pass, that seam pass, nobody did that better than Bavaro and Sims.
That was magic. I mean, they would get you if you didn't knock Bavaro down, they were going to complete that all day.
2nd and 10. Hampton for a loss to midfield. Derek Thomas.
Derek Thomas said he's had enough of that, but again, now they're trying to run across the field. Now, see, here's Hampton here. They're going all the way across the field. Now, that's a slower hitting thing, and that allows for pursuit, and that allows for Derek Thomas to get out there. I think their better stuff was when they just ran right at Derek Thomas, because that makes him stay there and just play and not use his quickness.
3rd and 13. 3 wide receiver package. All 3 of them to the left. Brown rolls left. Look out. Darren Mickle. Brown didn't see him coming.
Well, that was an organized scramble. And you see what Brown is going to do is he's going to start here, go back, and then come out here, and then he just doesn't have anything to throw here, and he gets caught from the backside. You see, he starts back, and then he just rolls out here. This is organized, but he had to wait too long, and he went back to like his third receiver, and when he looked for his third receiver, the first thing he saw was Darren Mickle.
Moran to punt it. Mark Vanover made the catch and is hit immediately. Good coverage by the Giants. Good punt. Willie Beeman was the first man down. Horan's kick was a good one.
Watch Willie Beeman there. This is what he goes through, but he makes a heck of a play. He's being double teamed, runs out of bounds, gets down there, and makes a heck of a hit at the end of it.
That's some desire there.
That's a tough job.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, the two outside guys are the only guys that can go when the ball is snapped. Everyone else has to wait until the ball is punted.
And they're always double teamed.
And they're always double teamed. They're always right at the sideline. So they always get knocked out of bounds. Sometimes they get hit by guys on the sideline. They run over buckets into fences and everything. But they just keep coming.
Greg Hill with the speed. Tried to get to the outside instead of cutting up the field. Tough judgment to make, but looked like he had an alley.
But this is you see that cover two, that corner is going to be up there. You see, and he does a good job. Flippy Sparks is up there because he's up there playing cover two. He's up there to bump the receiver. So now if it's a sweep to his side, he is the force man up there, and he's right there.
2nd and 6. Davis in motion. Bono to throw. Pass was handled momentarily by Lake Dawson, then he lost it. Incomplete.
Yeah, they ran at Flippy Sparks, and then he handled that. Then they tried to throw that slant in there on him. Last week the Cowboys didn't work much on Sparks. They worked on that other side on Thomas Randolph, and here Sparks is getting a little action here.
The Cowboys went just almost straight ahead.
Yeah, but when they were passing, I guess most of their passing was on the other side.
On 3rd down. Bono to throw. Almost picked off, intended for Davis. Sparks almost picked it off. And he had some room to roam if he did.
That was 3 good plays of defense by Flippy Sparks. We saw him 1, he stopped the run. 2, he stopped the slant. And then 3, he has perfect man-to-man coverage there. He knows he has help deep. He has help on the top, so he can cut underneath it. And he cuts perfectly underneath it. Everything is perfect until he drops the ball.
Aguiar back to punt. This one's not his best. Well, it turned out not bad. Harrell. Wrapped up in a hurry by Hughes. Our Aflac trivia question, with all the publicity and all the tributes this week paid to Cal Ripken Jr. Which NFL player holds the record for most consecutive games played? Which NFL player holds the record for most consecutive games played? And which NFL player holds the record for most consecutive games played?
That was my hint, Pat. I put in there which ex-NFL player. Yeah.
We'll answer it after this play. John gave you a hint. Brown gives to Hampton for perhaps a couple. Booker made the stop. There is the answer. Jim Marshall, 282 games. A few with Cleveland, mostly with Minnesota. That was a magic moment that night, as I'm sure you were watching, John, on television as I was, when Cal Ripken Jr. broke Lou Gehrig's record. And did he ever handle it with class?
Well, the whole thing was class, and I think that you know just the solidity of it. You know, there was someone that stands for the fundamentals of there's a game to be played. Well, let's go out and play it. There's work to do. Let's go work.
Brown fires to Pierce, complete, 1st down. Knocked down just as he let it go. Tracy Simeon made the stop on Pierce.
This is the thing that a quarterback always has to look at. You know that you can't look at the guys rushing you. You have to feel that. You know that you're going to get hit anyway, like if you're going to slide forward or backwards. So you may as well look downfield and just step up there because you got to take that hit anyway, whether it's complete or incomplete.
17-yard completion. Hampton gets the carry. Hampton gets stopped right at the line of scrimmage by Saliamua.
I think Saliamua really stunted into that, Pat, because he had to start before he saw that. Watch Saliamua here. Now, his stunt is, instead of going right here, he starts this way even before he sees the play.
Lined up that way.
Yeah. You see, so he got hit, seeing he's starting a loop there. Yeah. That's a cross between he and Phillips, his other tackle. 6 foot, 315 pounds. That's a big load to block and not a very tall one.
That's a big package. No flag. Brown lost the ball. Recovered by the Chiefs' George Jameson. And Kansas City will have it in great shape.
Yep, and it's Derek Thomas. He made the play now. Now, he's not a rush guy. He's going to be right here. He's a linebacker coming on a blitz. You see, he comes on a blitz. He has that quickness. He finds that hole. Then he goes and he reaches behind. He reaches a right hand in behind and strips that ball out of Dave Brown's hand. That is quickness. That is speed. That is power. And when you get to the ball, that's being very, very alert and very, very aware.
Boy, as you said, he found that little crease and he really popped through it.
And then when he got there to the ball, he did something about it.
Remind you of Lawrence Taylor?
It sure did.
Bono gets it out to Marcus Allen. Allen cut down by Sparks.
I think somewhere here the Chiefs are going to have to open this up a little. I mean, it looks like they're so conservative. I mean, they have Willie Davis, you know, their speed guy on one side, and Lake Dawson on the other side. And I think somewhere in here they just got to pop one or try to pop one to Willie Davis. He's their big play guy. Loosen this giant defense up.
He's on the right side. Handoff is to Allen. Allen for a couple. And the crowd doesn't necessarily like the play selection by the Chiefs.
Because I think they're thinking the same thing that I'm thinking. That if you have a guy like Willie Davis and you got to loosen this defense up. If you just keep running right into it, that they're not going to. I mean, they've thrown him one pass so far, and I think, you know, he's their speed guy. He's the guy that can loosen the defense up.
And they've got Lake Dawson on the other side. This is Davis in motion. Bono back to throw. Dawson. Chief first down. Hit by Jesse Campbell.
Now there's a scrappy guy, Lake Dawson. You know, you watch him and you watch film and you watch the Kansas City Chiefs play. This guy is in every play. If it's a pass play, he's running full speed, every pattern all the way out, catching the ball. Tough guy taking that hit. If it's a running play, he's out in front of it trying to make a block. This guy is in on any action on the field. Lake Dawson's going to be around it.
Davis to the right. Webster, Slaughter this time split left. This is Anders. The fake to Anders. Intended for Davis on the roll from Bono.
Oh, and did Davis was he open? Because he put a move on Flippy Sparks that Flippy Sparks fell down. He fell down right at the move, and you see it. Here's Sparks here. He's going to come here. He gives him a move here. Sparks falls down, and then he goes out. This is a pretty good move. Sparks is looking back in. He makes a move there. Sparks falls down, and Bono just didn't make a good throw. That was the same area that Dale Carter fell down in.
I was thinking that. Marcus Allen. Allen still on his feet inside the 10 to about the 6. Jesse Armstead finally tripped him up. We're coming up to the 2-minute warning. Kansas City Chiefs are coming up closer to the Giant goal line. It's 10-3. or two, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's, you know, there's something about football and Lambeau Field and grass and
On Lombardi Avenue.
Lombardi and bratwurst and cows and cheeseheads.
Fake is to Allen. Pitches to Anders to about the 2.
Yeah, we were talking earlier about the bootleg pass, how you know, the backs go one way, the quarterback moves and bootlegs out the other way as being probably the most popular pass right now in the NFL. And I've always thought that the more effective, or the closer you get to the goal line, the more effective it is. It's a very effective pass inside the 10-yard line.
Joe Valerio is lined up as the tight end on the left side of the Chief offensive line. Doesn't go out. Pass is picked off in the end zone. Intercepted by Michael Strahan, who appeared from nowhere. Bono threw it into a crowd, and he knows it.
I know, and he knows it. You know, once you get down there and you're inside that 10-yard line and you have that much time, you're better just to throw it away and come up for the next down. You see, they went to play pass. Now he's coming out. Now he has no one to throw it to. Now, when you have to hold it that long and you're backing away like that, you're better off. Don't even throw that thing. And the worst place to throw it is where he threw it to the, you know, to the guy on defense. But the worst place to throw it is in the middle of the field.
Right. And too many white shirts there.
And I'm sure that Bono knows that as well as anyone. And what the heck was Strahan doing wandering around in the end zone?
Rodney Hampton hit in the backfield, but surges ahead for about a yard. Coming up, the Dockers halftime report. James Brown, Terry Bradshaw, Howie Long, and Jimmy Johnson, all with scores and highlights from all around the league. At the half.
What was Howie talking about in the pregame show about PMS, about post-Montana syndrome?
Yes.
I don't know that Joe Montana would have thrown that one.
No.
Howie can talk about, Howie at halftime would say, see, that's what I was talking about. They still got that syndrome down there. The other team has dilemmas.
Hampton. Hit by Brian Washington.
There's the leader of the Giant defense, number 94 there, Michael Brooks. And one thing that he does, you know, he's always talking to the other players, too. And I'm sure that that's what they're talking about now, that no matter what happens, if you just stay with things, they can still come out your way. I mean, the Chiefs got something going. Marcus Allen had a nice run to get him in there. They had a bootleg. But if you stay with it and force him, you know, then something can go your way, too.
Giants have 85 yards on the ground. That's something they wanted very much to accomplish. 108 passing yards. So they've done that effectively. 193 in total yards to 88 for Kansas City. So the Giants really have no need to change what they set out to do in the beginning. The Chiefs might have to make some revisions.
Yeah, and that's kind of, you know, Giant football there, where they have the ball, they have the time of possession. And the other big key thing there is they have no turnovers.
Demaric Vanover. And he's outside the 30 to about the 32. Steve Bono, the new Kansas City quarterback. He waited a long time for that starting opportunity. Behind Joe Montana in San Francisco, and then here last week against Seattle. 18 out of 23, 3 touchdowns, 278 yards today. Less success, much less. 6 out of 15 and 1 big interception. The Chiefs will start from their own 32, down by a touchdown. Marcus Allen on first down gets good yardage, about 6. Coleman Rudolph made the stop.
One thing the Chiefs want to do with Marcus Allen is that dilemma thing again, where you want to play him but you want to keep him rested. I mean, they don't want to overwork him because you want to keep him fresh. You'd like him in there on third downs when you have someone you have to pass it to on third and long. You like him in there on third and short because he's the best short yardage runner in football. And you'd like him on the bench resting.
Allen again, first down. Jesse Campbell made the stop.
See, the thing is, if we look at the passing by distance of the Chiefs, we see 0 to 5, 4 out of 7, 6 to 10, 1 out of 3. But the big thing is, I think that somewhere they have to throw it in there, 16 plus. I think somewhere they have to throw it to Willie Davis and at least loosen this Giant defense up.
Davis is split wide right. Bono. Flag on the play. He gets it to Davis on a comeback. Not much yardage, but a flag on the play. Holding against Kansas City.
Then it was thrown right in the area of Dave Zott, number 79, the left guard. He was back there and, close to the quarterback. And then
number 76 on the offense. That's a 10-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
Well, it was John Alt, the left tackle. Here's Alt right here, number 76. And when the referee calls it, it's usually when you get back close. And there it is right there. When you get close to the quarterback, he's watching the quarterback. And you see Alt had that little hold right there at the end, about 7 yards into the backfield.
Could have been called against Zott as well.
That's what I thought he called it on.
Marcus Allen bounced off one tackler, got a yard. Jesse Campbell again made the stop.
This is a thing that the Giants have done better. They've hurried Bono once. Of course, that interception was a hurry. They've knocked him down twice. They batted one ball. They've intercepted him once, and they forced him to scramble 3 times. So they've been putting the pressure on Bono a lot better than they did in the preseason or, of course, in that opener against the Cowboys.
2nd and 18. Through the hands of Marcus Allen. That wasn't going to get much anyway.
It was one of those things that you always say, get a guy like Marcus Allen and just get a swing pass out to him in the open field and let him run. And that's a good idea if there's a lot of open field. But there was about 4 or 5 white jerseys there, and you get it. And even had you gotten him the ball there was no open field.
And he had to get 18 for the first down. So it's 3rd. And the Chiefs go with 3 wide receivers. Webster Slaughter is number 85. Bono the throw. Slaughter still on his feet, down to the Giant 35. Flag on the play, way back by Bono.
And it's going to be against the Chiefs too, but let's watch Webster Slaughter. You see him, he's number 85 here, a 10-year veteran, played for Marty Schottenheimer for the Cleveland Browns for years. Just found that hole in there.
Number 68 on the offense. That's a 10-yard penalty. Repeat, third down.
Will Shields.
Will Shields is right here. He's the right guard. You see here, he starts off in pretty good protection, and if he held right in the middle of a spin move. But I think on every 3rd and long, you're going to find one of those.
That knocked out a 28-yard gain. They need another one for a first down. Bono back to throw. Giants come with a blitz. Davis. Ball comes loose. Did he have it?
I think both officials said that it was an incomplete pass.
Incomplete.
The other thing we talked about, the Giants not having any turnovers. The other thing is kind of amazing. I don't think they've been penalized yet today.
I don't think they've been penalized. I do think they had a turnover. Didn't Rodney Hampton fumble once?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they did, because Callaway hit him. Yeah, that's right.
Is this a catch?
I don't think he ever had control of it.
Aguiar back to kick, and it's a good one. Harrell back deep for the Giants at the 20. Some room this time. Through about the 33. Where the Giant offensive unit will take over. They lead by a touchdown with 11:58 left in the 3rd quarter. 10-3 to score.
It is a war.
Tripped up by Sally Amua.
Hey, when you're 6 foot and 310 pounds and you can move quickly like that, that's a pretty good deal too.
He looks like Sally and Mua in that suit.
But he made that little burst there at the end. I mean, he started out and he had some pressure on Dave Brown, and Dave Brown now decides to run. But watch Sally Moore right there at that little end. He gave a burst. I mean, that was a 300-pound burst, and reached out and just grabbed him by his ankle.
Moran, good kick. Tamar Vanover back to handle it. Lost the ball. Chiefs got it.
The way the Giants are hitting down there, he's lucky he didn't lose more than the ball. Well, there was some whapping going on down there. That's the way to play special teams.
Good hearing.
Good hitting. Good day for hitting.
Chiefs take over. Being Fox Sports with these beautiful aerial views for today's event. And it is a beautiful day and a beautiful sight from the Blockbuster Video Blimp. A good day for them to fly. Marcus Allen. Not much. Strahan made the stop.
You know, one thing that you see a lot of in football, is kind of like old kickers and old offensive linemen. And
beg your pardon?
Well, no. I mean, you see an old kicker, a guy that's been kicking for a lot of years, but you don't see many old running backs. And I think that's why Marcus Allen is, something special. I mean, 14 years in the National Football League, and he looks like he's, been in the league 3 or 4 years the way he moves.
Looks just like he always did. Anders near a Chief first down, not quite.
Marcus Allen was always one of those complete running backs too. I mean, he was one of those guys. I mean, he is one of those guys. 14 years in the league, but you don't have to take him out. I mean, if you're going to run, he can run it. If you're going to pass, he can catch it. If they're going to blitz and you need a protector, he's one of the best blockers in the game. So whatever is going to happen, you don't have to say, oh, we got to get Allen out of the game, and never had to get him out of the game.
You would think this would be an effort by Marcus Allen. On the exchange from center, trying to pick it back up and get enough yards for a first, but I'm not sure. Maybe he even lost the ball.
One thing, Bono has never gotten comfortable with this game, and I think that interception just before the halftime, it took a little more of the comfort out of him. And here he's just trying to get the ball, and remember we had one penalty where he pulled out early, then he has a penalty. I mean, then he has the interception, then he drops the ball on a third down play. That's a big miscue right there.
It sure is. Instead of first down, they've got Aguiar in the game to punt. Harrell back deep for the Giants. Good snap. Good high kick. Harrell. Lost it. Scramble. Giants got it back.
That was a great kick by Louis Aguiar.
Minuski made the hit.
Well, Harrell has to free catch that thing. I mean, he has to be able to know that there's a defender right there. I mean, he has to know it. You have to watch the ball, but you have to know how close they are. I mean, you have to look up and then see the guy, and you can't try and catch the ball. Now, the rule is that even though he doesn't make a fair catch, the guy coming down cannot interfere with his right to catch the ball.
That's Anderson.
So I don't know if Anderson interfered with his right to catch the ball or not.
There's a flag on the play, and it's a Giant ball. Marty Schottenheimer out on the field and very upset. But you got to give him room.
I still say that Harrell should have free caught the ball, but as you say, even if he doesn't, he still has the protection of the right to catch the ball.
We have interference with the opportunity to catch the punt. That's a 15-yard penalty, first down.
Marty Schottenheimer is asking the official to come over and talk to him, and here he comes. The Giants have the ball They get a 15-yard penalty. They need by a touchdown.
This year,
John Madden back at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. The Giants lead the Chiefs by a touchdown. Giants have the ball at their own 36. Brown rolls, tosses to Walker. Walker near a Giant first down. Derek Thomas chased him down.
See, there again, once you get the running game going, you can get all these other things going. That time they faked to Rodney Hampton, then they bootleg out and throw it to Herschel Walker. And a reason that they could do that is because Hampton's been successful.
There was a flag on the play after the completion of the play, so let's have a look.
Hey, Derek Thomas made a heck of a play because he went with the fake. He went with Rodney Hampton at first and then saw, oh, it's a bootleg. Then he turned the other way, and he was the guy that tackled Herschel Walker.
One of the very few players who told us yesterday that he likes the grass here. The grass is good at Arrowhead. This is the second year it's been natural grass. But he'd rather be on turf, artificial turf.
Oh, yeah, when he rushes a passer, when Derek Thomas rushes a passer on artificial turf, there are some times that he is darn near unblockable.
Walker got enough for the first down. Now they're talking with Dave Brown. It must be his decision to make.
Holding, number 40 on the defense. The penalty is declined, second down.
See, that's James Hasty here, and they're saying that he held. You see, the ball was thrown to Herschel Walker, so he was holding. Well, he was holding all the way. I was going to say 5 yards is a rule, but Hasty decided if you're going to do it, you're going to get caught. You may as well hold for 10, 15 yards.
It was second down, second and short, Hampton.
Yeah, that's what the time was. That's what they were talking about, Dave Brown. You want the penalty, then that would take it 1st and 5. And you would lose the play, or do you want to take the 9 yards you gained in the play?
Which he took.
And then ran and they got the first down.
1st and 10 at their own 48. The Giants. They're up by 7. Hampton is the lone setback. Fake to Rodney. Dave Brown. Pass is incomplete. Howard Cross.
That was that bootleg again, and he got out there, and you see the bootleg. He starts out, and he's out here all by himself, and he had a lot of time, and he just waited for Howard Cross, and that was just pretty good coverage. And
Cross just didn't hold on.
I think Brian Washington, knocked it out a little too, but.
Callaway is wide to the right. Brown to Pierce. Incomplete. Flag down in the Giant backfield.
And that's in that area where they've been calling holding all day.
Against the Giants.
Yeah, that should be usually the guy that calls holding is the umpire, the official behind the defensive line. This is about the 3rd one called by the referee, which means a late holding.
Number 27 on the offense. That's a 10-yard penalty. Repeat, second down.
Rodney Hampton holding.
Rodney Hampton, you'll see him come into the picture on the top up there, and he made a pretty good block, and then after the block, he made a tackle.
Pretty good tackle.
That was on George Jamison, outside rusher.
2nd and 20. Back at the 37. Brown to throw. Pierce gets him down in bounds.
Isn't that something how you talk about the crowd, and this is a great crowd, and they say there's as much noise in this stadium as any stadium in the NFL. And all you need is a play like this. Aaron Pierce runs a deep out, gets on a linebacker, Dave Brown hits him, and that really quiets down this crowd. Then you don't have to worry about your attenuation, your earplugs, and all the stuff that you bring with you so you can hear the quarterback.
A 16-yard gain will silence the crowd. 3rd and 4. Walker in the backfield with Hampton this time. Callaway in motion. Brown to throw. Callaway.
Ooh, that's going to be a good tackle by Mark Collins.
Very close to a first down.
This is going to be an interesting spot because Mark Collins hit him right about the first down marker and started him going backwards, and it's going to be interesting where this official puts that ball down. It looks like he got a left foot deal that may give him a first down.
Left foot is key.
Yeah, you see where that left foot, if he put it where his right foot was, it wouldn't be a first down. By putting it where that left foot is, and then they're going to protect that ball so that no player comes up and just gives it a nudge one way or the other. But it looked like on the play that Mark Collins stopped him short of first down and made a good tackle. And I think they may get a little break on the spot here, the Giants.
Left foot spot. Needs a little more.
Well, they didn't. That thing on the side isn't accurate. See, because if we watch the play again, we'll see that Mark Collins has man-to-man, and right there he makes the hit, and there's no more forward motion. Right when he made the hit, that was short of the first down, and it turned out to be short of the first down. That was a big play by Mark Collins.
Big play. Mike Horan averaging 45 today. Kamara Vanover standing back at the 10 for the Chiefs. Horan kicking it away. Sails it into the stand.
The referee is telling this official how far back to go. He hasn't stopped him yet.
Not Horan's best. Tuesday night movie. Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City packed full. Around 78,000 people on opening day for the Chiefs, who won their first game. This is Greg Hill. Kimball Anders, I beg your pardon. This game summary brought to you by Budweiser. Dave Brown 9 out of 12. Steve Bono 7 of 18. One interception, a big one. Chris Callaway has caught 5 for 100 yards and a touchdown. The only touchdown. 2nd and 7. Bono to throw. Outside of Cash. Tripped up by Brooks. Near a first down.
Well, Keith Cash is trying to get this crowd into it. You know, the offense really hasn't done much today. You're going to see Keith Cash as a tight end. He starts to block, and then he's going to just come out here late. You see him down here in the bottom. He starts to block, then lets his guy go. And it's kind of like a screen pass where you block and then just dump it over the guy that you were blocking.
Enough for a first down for the Chiefs. The handoff is to Marcus Allen. Allen to the 50. There's a flag on the play. Allen out of bounds at the 35. A penalty marker down. They're going to bring it back.
That's in the area of holding again, Pat. We seem to be seeing a lot of holding here, but it's right in that area where they're going to call offensive holding. Marcus Allen broke that one just like Emmitt Smith did the other night against him. Just boom, straight up the middle.
But this one they'll bring
holding,
back.
Number 68 on the offense. That's a 10-yard penalty. Still first down.
Again, the culprit is Will Shields.
And Will Shields is the right guard there, and that's the area that Marcus Allen is going to run. He just that's a pretty good block. I mean, he just goes straight out. Oh, I don't know about that. I mean, that looked like that's what you try and teach. He just fired out and knocked this guy in his back.
If anybody was holding, it looked like the defender was holding.
Yeah, he was holding on for his life.
Incomplete, intended for Dawson. The flag on the play. Get even time.
Oh, boy. I mean, what Will Shields did on that play is what you try and do.
Yeah. Vincey Glenn was the defender.
And that one's going to go against the Giants.
Number 22 on the defense. That's a spot ball and automatic first down.
And see, that's a big thing. They were like 1st and 20, and now they pick up this, and it's 1st and 10.
Call against Sparks.
I don't know about that. I mean, Sparks was right there, and I think they just had 2 bad calls in the play. I mean, if you don't, to me, what Sparks did is playing football, and what Will Shields did is playing football. If you start penalizing guys for playing football, you don't have a game.
Automatic first down. Greg Hill, the ball carrier. I'm watching Lake Dawson out on that last play, and almost every play. He's into a fracas or a near fracas on every down.
You know why? Because he's one of the few receivers in football that play every down, and he just goes down and blocks.
Watch this.
Yeah, I mean, here he is right here, and if you're going to pass to him, you know, he's going to run a pattern. But if it's a run, he just goes and he just blocks guys, and guys just don't like to be blocked. And then the play's over, and he keeps blocking them.
2nd down and 8. Bono fakes, gets it to Anders. Anders with his 2nd effort with that little lunge came very close to picking up a cheap first down.
Yeah, that was just poor tackling there. Because they had good defense and just didn't get the job done.
Joe Valerio checks in as an eligible receiver. He's on the right side this time. Now he's the tight end on that side, and this is Marcus Allen. Right now for a McDonald's game break, let's return to James Brown in our Hollywood studio.
All right, Pat, hard to believe, but Jim Kelly, this is his 2nd completion of the game, Pat. My goodness, he finds Russell Copeland 77 yards to pay dirt. Buffalo finally narrowing the gap 9-7 down in the 3rd. Back to Pat and John.
First down, Kansas City. Their own 47. Fake to Allen. Bono steps up. Pass caught. Derek Walker, the other tight end, made the reception.
Bono zipped that ball.
Yep.
I mean, he came off that play pass, and he had that thing up there. And one of the keys to zipping is you don't leave it in the air long enough for the defense to react. Watch him. I mean, he sees that, and boom, he puts some mustard on that thing. Because if he doesn't, that ball is tipped or knocked down.
2nd and 5. Anders. First down at the 30. Jesse Campbell tripped him up at the 35, make it 36 perhaps.
Well, they found something out here to the left side now that they can start it inside. I think they caught Mike Strahan on the inside and then just bounced outside of him.
12-yard gain.
Just watch here. You'll see up here. See Strahan. He gets caught inside. Then he gets hooked. Then maybe he was held there a little, but he had the outside. John Alt, you know, got him. Then John Alt started to move him, and I think he hooked him with that left arm a little.
Anders jammed his finger or something on one of his hands when he went down. That's what they're looking at. 10-3 Giants. Madden fans here at Arrowhead.
I'll tell you, they know how to do a lot of things. They know how to make noise. They know when to make noise, and they know how to cook and eat before the game starts too.
And during the game.
Oh yeah.
This is Marcus Allen. Richardson was the fullback.
Yeah, here's where they're good. I mean, this is what they do before the game. Look at this. I mean, they barbecue everything here.
Well, we found a good place.
You know what this is here? That's a fried turkey. They deep fried turkey. I've had that before. This is what it looks like when you cut it. That is pretty good eating.
And after you get through cutting it, it's good eating. Now that's a little too fancy.
That doesn't belong here. That's what.
You can't barbecue that.
No, unless that was barbecue sauce they were squirting on there. It didn't belong there.
Blitz by the Giants. Bono incomplete. Intended for Cash.
You see that fried turkey though?
Yeah.
You see what here? You see these dots here? You just draw those things in there. But
that's not barbecue.
Well, then it shouldn't even be. It doesn't even deserve it. It just gets this. I mean, there's no all Madden and then
no,
this
that
thing
won't.
Here.
Now that means absolutely nothing.
That's the end of that.
Out of here. 3rd and 6.
Who the heck would squirt stuff and laugh?
Oh no. That was Kimball Anders close to a first down, but didn't get it.
Because Jesse Armstead made a heck of a tackle then. There was a play before where Armstead missed the tackle and the Chiefs got the first down. That time Armstead said, I missed that last one, I'm getting this one, and he did. That's a big play.
And that's the end of the 3rd quarter with the Giants still leading by a touchdown. They'll change in. And about a half yard. Marty Schottenheimer has made his call.
I think if it were a longer 4th down play, you would expect that Marcus Allen would get the ball.
Yeah.
I think with this short, you darn near have to run a quarterback sneak. I mean, there's no way when you just have a couple inches, there's no way that a quarterback sneak should be stopped.
Tony Richardson and Marcus Allen, the 2 backs. They give this to Allen. And he almost broke it.
Well, we talked about Marcus Allen being the best short yardage runner in football for years. I thought when you only have an inch or so, you just have the quarterback flop. And if you really need the first down, the guy that you give it to is Marcus Allen. You talk about confidence. That's why Marty Schottenheimer brought Marcus Allen here to the Kansas City Chiefs. And when you get that 4th down, you got to give it to that guy.
Vince Glenn prevented the touchdown by Allen, who stays in the game. Again, it's Marcus. A couple stopped by Brooks.
You know, the inside of that offensive line now with Tim Grunhard at the center and Will Shields at the left guard and Dave Zott Will Shields at the right guard, Dave Zott at the left guard. They're really blocking now. They got control of the inside of that Giant defense.
Well, I'm talking to Art Shell yesterday. Those are the 3 that he's really high on, proud of.
He thinks that they're the 3 best inside guys in football.
Outside, incomplete. Juggled by Dawson.
Indeed, one thing as he gets down here, we watch 2nd down again, but if we get down here to 3rd down, Steve Bono's going to be thinking if something's not open and open quickly like that one was, I'm not going to throw it down here and have another interception. Remember last time just before the half they got down here and he went play pass, didn't have anything and tried to force it.
3rd and 7. 13:43 left to play. Bono back to throw. Away from one man. Bono's going to keep it. Bono to the 10. That might be enough for a first.
Oh, it's where they spot. Where was his knee down? That was a heck of a move by Bono. And it was poor Giant defense because he was going towards the sideline. The Giant defense assumed that he was going to go out of bounds. And he didn't do it. Watch him. He comes here. He starts to go out here. Now they start to hold up thinking he's going to run out of bounds. He doesn't. He sees that. They let up, and he cuts back against the grain. Now they come up with another 4th and short.
4th and about a foot again. Well, that much, not a foot.
Now I would think again that this
Same
would be
thing?
no, I would think it'd be a quarterback sneak play.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
That's what you thought before.
That's what I thought before, and they handed it to Marcus Allen, and he almost broke it. So maybe Marty Schottenheimer's thinking, let's hand it to Marcus Allen again, and maybe he'll break one for a touchdown. I would think quarterback sneak because they have to give you the spot.
Well, they've had trouble before. Bono pulled out too soon. Then he fumbled a snap in the center on short yardage. Last time they executed okay with handing it to Marcus Allen, who almost broke it, as you said. Now let's see.
And those 2 guards in that center kind of have control of the middle of that Giant defense now.
To Marcus Allen. And he got the first down. The Giants are pointing in the other direction, but he got across the 10, and that's all he had to do.
Well, what you know, if they don't quarterback sneak, they're going to hand it to Marcus Allen.
Yeah,
that's what you know.
Pretty safe. Well, yeah, he got it. You might ask for a measurement, but he got it. That is, if the marker on the other side of the field is correct, and it wasn't before.
Yeah, just looking at it from here, he has it. Unless they put some more links in that chain.
2 times the Chiefs have gone for it on 4th down. 2 times they've been successful in this drive.
This is a good time. Now you got them. You know, you've had some run. Now this is a good play pass down. Try and shoot it in the end zone.
Tony Richardson with Allen in the backfield, but that's Marcus Allen. And he hammers down to about the 5.
Yeah, there was a point, and there's a point in this drive where this offensive line of the Chiefs took over. I think in the first half, I think the Giant defense kind of had control. They were stopping the running game. They were getting a little pressure on. Then in this 3rd quarter, the Kansas City Chief offensive line is taking control.
This is the 18th play of this drive. 2nd and goal from the 6. Not much there. Nothing there. The Giants surge, led by Mike Kroll, knocks the Chief backwards. Marcus Allen. That time no room for him to find.
Yep, the more you run, the more they're going to tighten up for the run. And then when they stop the run, now you're in a passing situation. So now the Giants can go into their sub defense, and they're going to come with a pass rush and all their coverage.
2 tight ends for the Chiefs. 3rd and goal at the 7. Bono, down he goes. The ball picked off him in the air by the Giants. Keith Hamilton. Hamilton chased by Cash, and Hamilton lost the ball. Now who can recover once it gets down here? Only the guy that took it in, isn't that right? The Giants covered in the end zone.
Yeah, the Giants can score. He can fumble, and the Giants can score. Yeah. I didn't know whether he was going to run out of gas or fumble first.
Tito Wooten made the recovery in the end zone.
The first guy that makes the hit is number 97, Robert Harris. Watch number 97 Harris here. He makes the first hit. That pops it out. Then I think it hits someone's foot and back and jumps right up into Keith Hamilton.
Hit his knee and bounced up into his arm.
Now something's going to happen here. Hamilton's going to run out of gas, run out of bounds, or just fumble the darn thing.
Yeah.
He fumbled the darn thing, and it was recovered for a touchdown.
By Wooten. And now he goes. The ball came loose from Tito Wooten, and he recovers it.
And it's finally a touchdown. Yeah, they can do that. The only time they can is in the last 2 minutes on a 4th down where the guy has to recover his own. That's a long way for a big old defensive lineman to run, but it all started with Robert Harris.
Now Luiso's extra point is good, and the Chiefs look like they might tie the score, and now the Giants lead at 17-3. 10:56 left to play.
The legendary Nürburgring. It sounds crazy, but they let anyone drive on this world.
Field goal, and all of a sudden the Giants, Keith Hamilton wound up with the ball and went the length of the field, then fumbled, and Tito Wooten recovered in the end zone. Vanover. Leroy Thompson, I beg your pardon, not Vanover, made the return.
And the big play is here by Robert Harris.
Yep.
And you'll just see on the clicker, you see Ricky Sigler is the right tackle. He steps down. Now as he steps down, Harris goes right by him. And then he's right there. There's Robert Harris. Now he's going to hit the ball, knock it out. Now you watch the ball bounce. It hits one Kansas City Chief right in the back. Boom, it comes off him. Then another Kansas City Chief. Then it goes right into Keith Hamilton's hands.
Chiefs back on offense. 1st and 10 at their own 27. Bono to throw it. Drops it out to the tight end, Derek Walker. Keith Hamilton had a long trip
You see that the Giants and Chiefs have both had turnovers. The Giants had 7 points off the Chiefs turnovers, but even more than that, they had lost another 7 when they were going in. I mean, the Chiefs have been down there twice knocking on the door and self-destructed.
That was Harris that you saw a moment ago who caused the whole thing to happen. Here's Bono. To Bell. Greg Hill. And the flag on the play. Right at the end of that run by Greg Hill. Face mask.
So the Chiefs have to look at this game. They've been doing everything, and they've moved the ball. They've been able to run it a little, pass it a little.
Personal foul, number 25 on the defense, grabbing and pulling on the face mask. That's a 15-yard penalty, first down.
Ball against Vincey Glenn. That's the grabbing and pulling, the intentional kind. 15 yards. It carries.
Yeah, the 5-yard kind is the incidental kind. Whenever you just brush a face mask, whenever you grab and hold on and pull, then that's the 15-yard variety.
Bono back to throw. Outside to Anders. Picked up about 5.
Now watch, here's Vincey Glenn there coming in, and you see that he gets the hand up there, and then does he pull it? Now if he's going down, and he just keeps a hold of it, and that's what they saw. That he grabbed it and then he started to go down, and that's what he's trying to hold on to it to keep himself up.
Second down. Bono back again. The catch. About a 3-yard pickup. Right now, let's send you back to Hollywood for a McDonald's game break. And James Brown.
Had a bad day at the office for Jim Kelly. Solid day for Thurman Thomas. 19 carries, 73 yards. That made it 14-9. It is now 28-9. Buffalo over Carolina. Fuad Rivers going for the NFL record of 30 consecutive field goals. That 27-yarder is good. He breaks John Carney's record. We take you now back to Pat Summerall and John Madden.
The Giants lead the Chiefs 17-3. Bono gets it outside quickly to Anders. Nothing doing. Jesse Campbell up in a hurry.
Yeah, that's one of those none-yard passes on third down that I have never understood that. You get third down and you throw for 9 yards. Now the idea is you're going to throw it out, then the guy's going to run, but that's great coverage by the Giants. I mean, there was no place to go. You have to find a guy that's open beyond the first down mark. I mean, that play to me is just a waste of play. You should have just taken the ball and flopped on it if you're going to do that.
4th and 3. Ball at the Giant 35. Bono gets it to Hughes. Stay in bounds? Yes, he did.
I tell you, it's lucky that Hughes stayed with that play and Bono didn't throw it when he was ready, because Hughes was running one of those none-yard patterns. Yep. And had he thrown it to him earlier, that wouldn't have been a first down then. But because he was covered, he had to wait and wait and wait. But the ball, as it came out, there was just deflected a little. Right there, you see, and that kind of put a little extra wobble on it. It did get the first down, but had he thrown it when he was ready to throw it, that wouldn't have been a first down.
First down at the 30. Bono underneath to Anders. Maybe a yard. Bono's down. A flag is down. Back with Bono. This has got to be roughing the passer against Hamilton.
Yeah, those are the things that I know that Dan Reeves is going through now. That we're on the road. We just took all their momentum away. We just made a play, and now on this drive, we've given them 30 yards of penalties. Although I didn't think Vincey Glenn's was one of those kind that you thought about.
Personal foul, number 75, roughing the passer, putting all of his weight down on the quarterback onto the ground. 15-yard penalty, first down.
Number 75, Keith Hamilton, putting all his weight down on the quarterback in the ground. I don't know about that. I mean, I think if you start and you have him and you got all your weight, you know, and a guy like Keith Hamilton weighs 295 pounds, you can't stop your weight in midair.
Where are you going to put it?
You can't put it back where it came from.
Bono on the screen to Kimball Anders. To about the 11. Past the 11 down to about the 6.
I know the Chiefs and their fans and the players and Coach Marty Schottenheimer have to think about it. This is the third time we've been down here and we have 3 points. You know, I mean, they've been down there and they've had, you know, the interceptions, they've had their turnovers down here, and you know, instead of just banging this thing in or getting it in, they just get down here and bad things have happened to them.
It'll be first and goal, second down, beg your pardon. He didn't get the first. At the 6. Bono back to throw it. Willie Davis at about the 1.
Now you see Joe Valerio come in and the tackle where he'll be in the, as a tight end. And you see Marcus Allen. Now this is what they paid Marcus Allen for. I mean, I think that, you know, the other time they had 4th down, they gave it to Marcus Allen. He got it. He made 1st down. You get here in the goal line. You don't have a touchdown yet. You have to get a touchdown. Marcus Allen's the guy.
He's the deep back. 2 tight ends. Touchdown, Marcus Allen in Kansas City.
Watch from behind here. You can see he gets that ball, starts a little left. Now he's looking for a soft spot. And usually the soft spot is right behind your offensive lineman that is knocking his guy back.
Marcus Allen just leaned into it. The extra point is Elliott. 17-10, 5:03 left to play. The Giants by the Giants 17-10 over Kansas City. Harrell and Walker back deep for Lynn Elliott's kickoff. Don't forget a full wrap-up of all of today's action. Catch it on the FX Sports Show tonight at 11. This is Herschel Walker. To the 24. Stopped by Hughes. 4:54 left to play at Arrowhead Stadium. The Giants up by 7.
That drive by the Kansas City Chiefs and Marcus Allen's a 99th career touchdown, rushing touchdown. You got this crowd pretty well fired up now.
1st and 10. The Giants at their own 24.
That fried turkey starting to kick in.
Cross on the move. Pitch back to Hampton. Got about 5.
Yeah, Rodney Hampton's earned his money today.
Yes, he has.
I mean, if there's anything that the Giants have been able to do, it's run the ball, and of course the guy running the ball is Rodney Hampton. And then if you can get that going, you can get some other things going, and they've proven that.
17-10.
Guys, I've said this 4 years in a row, but this year we're not only going back to the big one.
Video blimp is based in Orlando, Florida. We look forward to seeing the blockbuster blimp at future Fox Sports events. Always with those great pictures. 2nd and 6. Hampton. Nothing.
One thing, that timeout that the Chiefs took, I think that kind of hurt. In fact, they're taking another one now, as you would like to get them stopped, and I think they have plenty of time. I'm surprised that they're starting to take their timeout so early, because once you take them, you have to use them in bunches. They're going to have to take another one if the Giants don't pass, and then use all their timeouts before the 4-minute. Now, of course, they're going to get one at change of possession, and they're going to get one at the 2-minute warning.
This game is presented by authority of the National Football League. It's intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Kansas City Chiefs and the National Football League is prohibited. Crowd of about 78,000 sold out at Arrowhead. 77,962 to be exact for the home opener.
Yeah, and they're all watching this down, because they know once you start committing yourself to timeout, they cannot afford to allow a first down. The Giants need a first down here.
Brown, cut down, flag on the play.
That's why great players make big plays when you need them.
This against the Giants holding. It would bring up 4th down if they don't take the penalty.
It was against Doug Riesenberg, and again, the guy that is so explosive and so quick and so fast is Derek Thomas, and he makes that big play.
As you said, big players, good players, great players make big plays, and he fits right into that category. Mike Horan.
And once the Chiefs decided to use those timeouts, they had to stop them on this series. Now the Chiefs are in pretty good shape here.
They're still down by 7. Horan back to punt. Good snap. Good high kick to Marek Vanover. Vanover, good coverage by the Giants. Vanover swarmed on it about the 32-yard line. At the end of this game, John and I'll select the Miller Lite player of the game. And that's going to be a difficult choice.
Yeah, because I think we have to let the game be played out here. You know, the last time the Chiefs have the ball, they drove 73 yards, and remember, 30 of that was Giant penalties.
Officials say he can hold up just a minute.
Well, they didn't have their guy down there. You see that down marker over there on the other side.
Today's game is being produced by Bob Stenner, directed by Sandy Grossman. Studio was produced by Scott Ackerson, directed by Bob Levy. The executive producers of Fox Sports are Ed Doran and David Hill.
Well, the other thing, the Chiefs have to go for a drive here, but then remember, if they do go drive and they do score, remember we have the 2-point rule in the NFL.
Makes it more difficult for the coaches.
I think at home, I think any place, I think you go for the tie and then go for the win later anyway.
Bono. Caught by Webster Slaughter, who hung on and did a good job of hanging on.
The other guy that's really been silent in this game as the Chiefs are going with no huddle has been Willie Davis.
Yeah. Had such a big day against Seattle last week. 2nd and 2.
And he's the only real speed on their team.
Bono to throw. Outside to Willie Davis. The self-made receiver, they call him.
Well, yeah, Willie Davis was on the practice squad for 2 years with the Kansas City Chiefs. Played a year in the World League just to get his skills down. And Marty Schottenheimer said when he first came here, he only weighed 150 pounds, and all he could do was run fast, but through hard work, he made himself a receiver.
1st and 10. Davis wide right. Bono. Why throw that pass?
Pass is incomplete.
Incomplete. Kimball Anders, the intended receiver. Would have been no gain if he caught it.
I think that was one of those that he just wanted to get rid of the ball. He was starting to feel pressure and just said, I've held this ball long enough and it has to come out of here. Marty Schottenheimer keeping those plays warm.
Chiefs have 1 timeout left. The Giants have all of theirs. 2nd and 10. Bono to Davis. This one is incomplete as well. Sparks right back there with him. Good coverage.
That's the one that you're wondering, why they hadn't done. Maybe they should try it on the other side, because Flippy Sparks is pretty good. I mean, he has a good feel. Right, you see him put that arm back there. Have any penalties, and then look in the second half, 5 penalties for 62 yards.
It's going to be first down, Kansas City at the Giant 30. That was Sparks, who was down. Now he's up and joins his teammates.
He's going to have to go off. When they come out for him like that, I mean, I think he has to go off anyway, because he looks a little wobbly.
Yes, he does.
But even if he were all right, he'd have to go off.
He's not walking just right.
No, he's not. And Flippy Sparks is the best defensive back in this Giant team.
Beeman has taken his place.
And you sure want your best defensive backs in here when you're ahead 17-10 and trying to protect the lead.
Kansas City with no timeouts, but a first down at the Giant 30. 2:57 left. Polo has Marcus Allen behind him. Looks like an automatic. Change the play. Polo lofts the ball to tight end Derek Walker. Walker gets down near the 20. Just shy of another first down.
I think Flippy Sparks was knocked out.
He might still be shaky. Yeah.
Yeah, that's that thing, you know, the vision and so on. The Chiefs are going without a huddle here.
Fox running. To Marcus Allen. Marcus kept his feet and picked his way to inside the 15, picked up a first down. Robert Harris on the stop.
You know, that's hard to teach. It's hard to teach. You know, it's hard to teach a guy that kind of feel. The Chiefs again going with no huddle here. I don't think that they have to speed things up.
Here's Bono. Incomplete. Intended for Lake Dawson. Their red zone offense today has sputtered a bit. An interception, a fumble, and a touchdown.
And they were freak things. I mean, the interception was to a defensive lineman,
right.
Mike Strahan. Remember that? And then the fumble was one of those things that he was hit and hit one of his own guys, hit the Kansas City Chief, bounced up in the air. Keith Hamilton ends up with it and runs it all the way.
And then he fumbles.
Yeah, and then Tito Wooten scores a touchdown.
That's Willie Davis on the move. Bono, flag on the play. He might have taken too long.
Delay a game on the offense. 5-yard penalty and still second down.
Oh boy, and with this Kansas City offense, that really hurts.
Yep.
I mean, they're the kind that their passing game can get you those 3 or 4 or 5 yards. Marcus Allen on a run or a draw can get you 3 or 4 or 5. And then you add 5 and make it 2nd and 15. This is not a Kansas City offensive type of situation.
2 minutes, 20 seconds left to play. The Giants lead at 17-10. Pat Summerall with John Madden at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. And here's Bono back to throw. He wheels it outside to Marcus Allen, who got away from one man, got back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all. Tito Wooten wrapped him up.
That's what I mean. When you're 2nd and 15, then you can't throw those little loops. I mean, you have to get into another offense. That offense that is yours isn't going to work on long yardage.
And now we get the 2-minute warning. That stops the clock at that point. So the Chiefs will have it there, 3rd and long. 17-10, the Giants lead. Kansas City with the ball at the Giants 20. Out of timeouts. 3rd down and about 15. Call it 16. On the Giant 20. The Chiefs have the ball. No timeouts left. And this, as John Madden said a minute ago, is not the Chiefs' kind of offensive setup.
But they have to think in terms of 2 downs, you know, 2 downs to get like 8 yards a down rather than 1 to get 15.
Bono. To Anders. Anders gets down to about the 11.
Well, they did that. They got their 7.5 yards. They got half of it. And now you put the whole game on 4th down and having to get the other half of it, which is about 8 yards. Of course, they can get a 1st down without getting a touchdown.
Out of the huddle, Kansas City quickly. 1:52 left to play. 4th and 7. And the Chiefs out of timeouts. Bono back to throw. The struggle. He might have the 1st down.
I think he has the 1st down, and he had the 1st down when he caught the ball, and he didn't lose it. Marty Schottenheimer saying, get him huddled up, and just throw the ball to the ground. Just stop the clock.
Keith Cash got him the 1st down on the pass from Bono, and they stops the clock. Now it's Marcus Allen time.
I think with 1 minute 30 seconds, they had plenty of time. I didn't think they had to waste a play like that. Just watch here. It's just a zone pattern. Keith Cash just comes up and just turns around and has that big body, and he's hit perfectly. Just gets right in front of Willie Beeman. You know, and he's a lot bigger than Beeman. It's just one of those basketball things.
That's where Sparks would have been if he didn't get shaken up earlier.
And that's that's the guy you always want to work on when their best guy goes out. You always want to work on the substitute anyway. And when you got a 6'4" guy against a 5'10" guy, you're going to win that battle.
A minute 25 now left on the scoreboard clock. The Chiefs first and goal. Bono to throw. Flag on the play. Flag came flying in just as the ball went by to Hughes. Must have been against the Giants. Touchdown is signal, and Elliott will try to tie it.
And Marty Schottenheimer didn't even think of going for two. You get the tie first. And good pass protection. Bono looks off to the right, comes back and just zips that thing in to Hughes. They're just running zone pattern against the Giants down here because the Giants stay in zone defense all the time.
Just find an open area and stop there and hope Bono can find you. And it's 17-17. A minute 22 left to play. All tied up.
In this last quarter, the penalties have sure killed the Giants.
Boy, have they ever.
Fourth down plays. I mean, Kansas City had some bad situations. They came up with things they had to. You see, there's Steve Bono looked, and then he came back to Dane and Hughes. You know, again, the Giants play zone defense, so they're just, the Kansas City Chiefs are just running zone patterns, hooks, and those kinds of things. Bono's doing it, getting good pass protection, did a good job of looking off. Dan Reeves ain't buying none of it.
No.
I think he's still talking about that penalty.
I think so, too.
And in those two drives, 14 points for the Chiefs, but 45 yards of 15-yard penalties by the Giants.
Two of them grabbing the face mask, one time not against the ball carrier.
Look at the Giants in the first half. They were doing so well. They weren't hurt at all by penalties. Then you look in the second half, they jumped up and got them.
Elliott to kick off. Walker and Harrell back deep. There's Herschel Walker. Walker to about the 30. And don't forget the Giants have all their timeouts, all three remaining.
And that was the thing I said earlier. Dan Reeves didn't want to be in a position to have to use them, and now he is.
Walker got out of bounds. The clock is stopped now as the offensive unit waits to come on the field. Dave Brown gets his instructions from Dan Reeves. 17-17 tie. Opening day in Kansas City. Excuse me, John.
I was just saying, he's talking about now you don't think in terms of a touchdown here. When you're on the 30-yard line with 70 yards to go, you don't even think in terms of a field goal. You think in terms of getting first downs. Then the first downs will put you in position for field goal or going for a touchdown.
And with their field goal kicker, a couple is all they need for him to have the distance and a strong enough leg to get there. This is Hampton. Nothing doing. They're going to have to use a timeout now. We're not going to need Horan. We're going to need Daniel Iso.
I think Dan Reeves has to come up with a play to get a couple of first downs here. Unless he's thinking of just controlling the ball and going into overtime, which he isn't, because if he were thinking that, he wouldn't have taken a timeout then. I mean, you have two things. This is, you have a chance to win it in regulation, so you go for that first.
If you're thinking field goal or range, Daniel Iso's best is 54 yards in his career.
So that means they have to get to about the 35-yard line.
That's realistic. Not much wind. 5 miles an hour when the game started. And now if there's any, you can't find any evidence of it anywhere. You look at the flags on top of the stadium, they're almost straight down. Second down. You got to get in range before all that can happen, of course. left to play. Brown on a quarterback draw, still on his feet, slides at the 40. Another timeout, or is he going to hurry up?
No, I think with third down that he should take a timeout to get a good play. I don't think this is a smart thing to do.
Going to sneak it. Now he's not going to make it.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Now he's going to have to take the timeout.
And not only that, but he's going to have to punt the ball. And you're going to have to give the ball back to the Chiefs.
Oh, I don't think so.
I don't know.
Maybe so. Maybe so.
I think that you have to, because you get an automatic time. Even though the Chiefs have no timeouts left, there is an automatic timeout at change of possession. So if you go for it on fourth down and don't get it, then that's first down for the Chiefs, and it's an automatic timeout.
And then they get, of course, their field goal unit on, even though they don't have any.
Yeah, see, with third down, I think they had to take time out and get a good play.
He has about a half yard left, about a foot maybe.
Yeah, and I think they have to punt now.
I don't think he's going to. Yes, he is.
Yeah. I think he had to, because again.
Well, no, he isn't.
No, he's going for short yardage.
Yep.
But again, if they don't get it, the Chiefs get the ball right at this position with first down and a shot at it.
I think he surprised the Chiefs. They're putting in substitutes now. He may go long count and try to have the Chiefs.
Yeah, that's not a bad move. Just take as much time as you want to on this play, and then take the penalty and punt it.
Hampton is deep. Pierce in motion. He went long count.
That's what he did, and now they'll take the penalty and punt it. Yeah, that's just taking time off the clock. And they used timeout, then decided they didn't get the first down. Now you want to take time off the clock.
Now you're just settling and hoping that you don't get a bad snap or something like that. And you're going to send this thing into overtime.
And the Chiefs are thinking, you know, there is a play. They couldn't do it here, but there is a play that you can fair catch.
Right.
And get a free kick. Yeah. But of course you wouldn't do it in this position.
Too far away.
But they can fair catch just to get an offensive play.
Haran back at his own 20. Line drive kick. Vanover fumbles, cut down at the 35, and the clock stops with 4 seconds to play.
Then you get another play, the offense would. If there's nothing, we go into overtime.
4 seconds left. We go into overtime. Kansas City won the toss. Martin Schottenheimer. He was having a little trouble getting that cup to his mouth, wasn't he? We're in overtime.
And now for something new. It's cooking with
17.
Remember that third down, the quarterback sneak? Watch. Here's the third down play. Now watch Dave Brown on second down. He goes and he loses his shoe on his left foot. Now here's where I think they should have taken a timeout.
Yep.
But he goes, now he doesn't have a shoe in his left foot, and he's trying to call a play, and then look, he has no shoe there, and he's trying to quarterback sneak.
No traction.
No. It's hard to get something in the ground to push when all it is a sock. No shoe equals no traction equals no first down equals have to punt equals overtime.
Good title for your next book.
Now we're talking.
Deloiso, as the Chiefs won the toss, and the Giants will kick off. Not many folks have left Arrowhead. Deloiso to kick. Vanover back by himself. Kick is handled by Vanover about a yard deep in the end zone. He is wrestled to the ground. A flag on the play.
Well, that looks like another face mask, doesn't it?
Yep.
Well, it's only the second week of regular season, but the Giants have to lead the league in face mask penalties.
That's exactly what it is.
Face mask penalties that kill you.
Rodney Young has Vanover by the head.
Ball, number 47 on the kicking team, grabbing and pulling on the face mask. 15-yard penalty, first down.
I'm not sure Bernie Kukar is ready for overtime.
I think he ran out of gas in the fourth quarter. But that was, what, the third 15-yard face mask penalty?
Right.
I mean, some teams don't have that many face mask, 15-yard variety face mask penalties in a season.
A full quarter. Kansas City has the ball. We're in overtime at Arrowhead Stadium. The fake. Bono throws. Anders makes a one-handed catch. And Kimball Anders, who had a problem with his hand after he made a catch and a run earlier, seems to have gotten well quickly. A one-handed grab behind him.
Yeah, and I don't know if he was throwing to Kimball Anders or Willie Davis, because you're going to see number 84. Willie Davis is right in front of him. You see, and he just throws it there. Davis thought that he was going to catch the ball. Then he quickly turned to be a blocker. And look at Lake Dawson now. Now, I would say these two Kansas City Chiefs receivers block as well as anyone.
First down, Kansas City. Bono gives to Allen. Allen gets to about the 43, and here comes another penalty flag. Brooks made the stop. This against Kansas City.
Well, they were just getting ready to. Elliott.
Number 79 on the offense. 10-yard penalty, repeat the first down.
Yeah, Bernie Kukar is running out of voice.
Yep. Dave Zott, penalties called against.
Dave Zott is right there, the left guard. I don't know, I guess he held right there at the end of the play.
First and 20, big penalty there. Bono gives to Anders. Anders had a blocker in front of him. Outran the blocker. Mike Kroll made the tackle.
Yeah, Jeff Criswell was blocking out there, running out there, not blocking anyone. Just watch Criswell. He's a left tackle here. The second guy, he pulls. Anders is right behind him. Criswell's number 69. He just kind of slows up, and Anders says there's no defense here. I'll just keep running. That was poor Giant defense.
Second and 12, 8-yard gain by Anders. Davis in motion. Bono gets to Marcus Allen straight ahead.
Yeah, we're talking about the flip of the coin. And if you look here, the team winning the coin toss, this was last year, won 47% of the games.
You wouldn't think that, would you?
No, I mean, it's about even.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those things that you always think that the team that wins gets the ball and goes right down and scores, but it's about a 50-50 thing, or has been.
That was all based on what happened last year.
And like neutral fans.
Anders was going to make that catch for a loss from Bono, the pass from Bono, and I think he just saw he had no shot and let it go.
I don't understand that part of the offense. I mean, I'm sure there's a reason for it. I'm sure that, but you're like 4th and 8, and you throw a pass 4 or 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage on 3rd down.
It really doesn't make a lot of sense, does it?
I'm sure to someone it does, so they wouldn't do it. Maybe they think he's going to catch it and run 15 yards.
Harrell back deep for Aguiar's punt. Aguiar is correct. High kick signals fair catch. Somebody ran into him, and the ball takes a bounce down inside the Giant 5 to about the 3. Down there by the Chiefs. That's a good kick.
Aguiar's had a big day.
Oh boy, has he.
You know where he started out? Aguiar ran in it. They had one of those things where they had a kicking contest, at San Francisco. He was from Livermore, California, and he won a car at a halftime of a San Francisco 49er game.
Won a car?
Yep, he won a car kicking, and then he went to the World League, and then he's been in the NFL. He was one of the players that is now with Kansas City that have been with a New York team. Of course, he punted with the New York Jets.
He's averaged 50.5 yards today.
But it all started as one of those halftime kicking contests at Candlestick Park in San Francisco.
And you wonder if he might have gotten a little discouraged if he didn't win the car. I guess you wonder that.
Yeah, one would.
Brown out of the end zone. Pass is complete for very little to Aaron Pierce. William White made the stop.
You look at this, the Giants in the second half, they had 44 yards and they gave up 82 yards in penalties. So they gave up in penalties darn near double what they gained.
You know, that wasn't far from being a safety. They put a pretty good rush on Brown. I wonder if an overtime game has ever been won by a safety.
And remember, if there's a penalty in the end zone, that's a safety.
Yeah. This is Hampton.
Yeah, that's why you always worry about this situation here when you're backed up. See, your first goal is to get out to the 5-yard line so your punter has 15 yards for the snap. And your second goal, of course, is to get a first down and move the ball. But one of the things you worry about in this situation, if you pass, your quarterback has to pass from the end zone.
Right.
Now, if he's sacked, that's a safety. But if you have a penalty in the end zone, that's also a safety.
3rd and 9. Well, of course, thinking further ahead, your punter doesn't have as much room as normally.
That's why you want to get to the 5-yard line.
Yeah. Brown in the end zone. To Callaway. Incomplete. He had it and lost it.
Yeah, because as you say, normally the punter is 15 yards back from the snapper. So now he's only going to be 13 yards because he has to watch that back line.
He steps on that back line. That's another safety.
That ball was just a little too much in front of Callaway. See, now he has to watch it. As you say, if he steps on that back line, then that's a safety. So he has to get up in front. So he has to give himself a yard there. Then you take a yard away from the 5. So instead of being 15 yards back, he's going to be 13 yards back, which puts the rushers 2 yards closer for a block.
That's Neil Smith being assisted off the field. That's cramp, maybe. Hard to diagnose.
Either a cramp or a hamstring. It looks more like a cramp, though. But for the Chiefs, I think this is a real good situation to go for a punt block.
Marek Vanover the Chiefs standing inside the Giant 50, inside Giant territory. At about the 46, Horan will have to be a yard clear of that back line. Can't be there. You can be there. You can hope for a good snap.
Well, that's why you like a 12-year veteran like Mike Horan in these situations. He knows that better than anyone else.
Vanover, the midfield. To the 41-42 maybe. Jesse Campbell down in a hurry. So the Chiefs squeeze things tighter.
The one thing Mike Horan knows, he plants that left foot back there, that foot cannot go backwards. I'm surprised that the Chiefs didn't put more of a rush on there in that situation. But again, they probably wanted to return because all they need now is one first down here and they'll be in field goal range.
First down, Kansas City, and they give the ball to Marcus Allen over the left side for a yard or two. Not much more. Michael Brooks made the stop as Lynn Elliott starts to loosen up. His longest, as you see, is 53 yards.
Do kickers ever loosen up too much? In other words, they got that net and that stuff. Do they ever like kick too many, and then by the time you're in overtime, your legs tired?
I never had a net, but I can imagine that happening. Some people thought I should have had a net, maybe thrown over me. But Marcus Allen looking for running room and finding it down to about the 32, and they're in.
See, again, that's about a 48-yard field goal right now.
Marcus Allen, left arm.
Or shoulder.
Yeah. We were talking about Neil Smith when he left a minute ago, and the word from the Kansas City bench is that that was leg cramps, and he could return. First down, Chiefs. Tony Richardson straight ahead. First down at about the Giant 27.
You could just see Dan Reeves, the way he was holding his necktie there, that you're just thinking that you had this game. You had the momentum. You had everything. You fought. You've done everything. And you can just feel the game. You know you compete and you want to win, but you could just feel the thing slipping away from you.
Hill. Out of bounds, stops the clock at about the 25-yard line. Thomas Randolph, 8:59 left to play in overtime.
I think the Chiefs are in a position now that they're not going to throw another pass. So the Giants have to think run defense, and they have to think of stripping the ball. I mean, everyone has to get there, get their hands on the ball, try and knock it out. The Giants need a turnover.
Second down. Hill again. Hill to about the 17. Willie Beeman up to make the stop. Elliott. He's warmed up all he wants to warm up.
I was going to say Marty Schottenheimer is showing a lot of confidence in Greg Hill. I don't know that he really is, because Marcus Allen was hurt and had to come out of the game. Greg Hill was a #1 draft choice a year ago, a second-year guy, and was kind of a disappointment for the Chiefs a year ago, but played very well last week.
Fastest guy on the team. First down, Kansas City. Hill again. Ball is loose. The Chiefs fall on it. They got the turnover almost. Keith Cash made the recovery.
It looked like Maurice Douglas had it. I mean, how close can you come? The Giants know that that's what they have to do. They have to go for the ball. They have to get the thing popped out. They get the ball, and it does pop out. They hit, and they're going to hit right there in the ball. The ball comes out. Maurice Douglas is right there and just can't pick it up.
Fall on it. No more wasted time. They're going to try with Elliott.
Oh, after that fumble, I guarantee you he's going to try. He said he's had enough of that. Woo!
Timeout, Giants. Elliott out to attempt the field goal. 17-17 overtime. Elliott's hit one field goal to 42 yards. 1 out of 1 today. This one more of a gimme, if there is such a thing.
You were the one that told me there's no such thing as a gimme.
There isn't.
If you're the kicker.
There isn't. That's not in your vocabulary. It isn't for a kicker or a golfer.
No, the one thing about the Chiefs is they really did hang in there, and it's easier to hang in when you're playing at home, but they were behind and they just kind of stayed with them, and then they got some things going, and the Giants played very well in the first half, and then the second half they just gave up a lot by the penalty situation and got themselves in the hole, and they couldn't get any first down.
On the field goal, 23 yards away, and Elliott's good. And the Kansas City Chiefs improved their record to 2-0 with an overtime victory over Dan Reeves' Giants, 20-17. final in overtime. Big Keith Hamilton, who had a long ramble earlier today, is all the way down to about the 2-yard line where he fumbled, and Tito Wooten scored the final Giant touchdown. Elliott from 23 yards away wins it for Kansas City.
Hey, Brad!
So for John Madden, I'm Pat Summerall saying so long from Arrowhead Stadium, where the final score was 20-17 Kansas City over the Giants. Be sure to stay tuned for the post-game report. James Brown, Terry Bradshaw, Howie Long, and Jimmy Johnson will be along from our Hollywood studio after these messages. You've been watching Fox Sports coverage of the National Football League from Arrowhead Stadium